everyone, and welcome to, for the first time in a long time, the Scaling First podcast. The lockout is finally over, and we are so glad to be able to do these podcasts once again, report news around the MLB. I'm Alec Eskin, along with Ben Goldstein, Mason, and Mitchell. So, lockout's over. A new labor agreement was finally agreed upon by the Players Association MLB. It was a long, grueling process lasting 99 days exactly. But now finally it's over and spring training games actually will begin next Friday. So guys, how are you feeling?
I find it very ironic that it ended on the dot of 99 days. I think it's the most MLB lockout thing ever to end it at the 99th day. I don't know what took them an extra day when they couldn't have just figured it out on the 98th day, but nonetheless, we're playing 162 games and I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. I think both sides probably got a little desperate.
Yeah, I'm just happy there's baseball again, but now I'm back to being depressed that the Phillies don't do anything in free agency. Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have some holes to fill. Mason, I know you're a Pirates fan, but how are you feeling about after the lockout?
It's going to be great to watch us win 58 games again at the most.
I can't see my neighbor's house outside. It's snowing so hard.
Good for you.
And also, you want to talk about future Marlon Brian Reynolds?
I don't. It depends who we get. All right. If we get some top tier prospects, I will be not so happy, but it'll be fine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pirates look like they're still selling off. So now let's get into the to the new labor agreement, specifically the parameters. So the first thing I want to start off with is that there is now universal DH. There will no longer be a pitcher up the plate unless they happen to be really good. So this could benefit the Phillies in a way because they could put Rhys Hoskins or Alec Bohm at DH, another one of their worst defenders.
I mean, I really like the fact that it's normal doubleheaders and normal extra innings. I thought that was dumb. I still think that an international draft would be actually pretty fun, and you can't have as many young, talented Latin American players being forced or being bribed or being tampered with to go to a certain team, like when they're 12, but they can't really sign until they're 16. Overall, I think this is an actually good labor agreement. I mean, to be honest, from a Philly standpoint, I actually hoped the tax cap or whatever you want to call it was higher, so we'd be able to spend more money without going over because Middleton just doesn't like going over the cap. But I really think in order to get the best out of this team, we'll have to go over the cap, and I will share my dream team in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the cap threshold will start off at $230 million in 2023 and peak at $244 million the final year of the CBA. And also, one of the hot topics was the international draft. The owners wanted the players to not, and the reason being is because like you said, the international players get more money and have more of a choice if they just go through like a free agency kind of system rather than a draft. But I do agree with you. The international draft might not be a bad idea because it would level the playing field a little bit. Also, another thing.
Bless you.
Not sneezing.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Yeah. Another thing is that the postseason format will now be 12 teams rather than 10. Owners are pushing for 14, but they got 12 instead. So this would probably help the Phillies out a bit because they have a much because I think last year they would have had better.
Freddie
better
Freeman
shot.
update. Freddie Freeman update from John Heyman. Dodgers
Oh, boy.
at the least have emerged as a very viable alternative for superstar Freddie Freeman, who winters in Corona del Mar. Braves aren't talking, but some others get the feeling they will think they'll be fine with Matt Olson, assuming they can get him. Bigger money likely for him in LA.
Yeah.
Also known as nothing new.
Did you see where Roman Quinn's going?
Yeah, Miami. He'll probably hit 500 home runs against us.
Nice.
All right. I think I'll just get straight into it since it's kind of valuable. My team. All right.
Oh boy.
It's
Lockout.
not that bad. So
It's bad.
so our starting lineup would be Gene Segura. Obviously, he's not going anywhere. In this scenario, Didi Gregorius is literally traded for scraps just to get his contract out of here. Batting second, we have new third baseman Chris Bryant. Then we have third, batting third would be Bryce Harper in right field. Hoskins would be a DH. Batting fourth, Kyle Schwarber will be batting left field. And batting fifth, JT Realmuto will be batting sixth and holding back the catcher's spot. Bryson Stott comes up and plays shortstop for us. He will be batting seventh. Kevin Kiermaier, who we'll trade for to replace Schwarber's defense, will be in eighth. And then Bohm will act as a second leadoff hitter, batting ninth. On the bench, we will have Matt Vierling as an outfield replacement player. Rafael Marchand, unless he's traded, will be our backup catcher. Brad Miller will be a util power guy. And then we have Justin Williams, a non-roster invitee. I think he'll probably earn that spot as a outfield utility with power. And then Johan Camargo holds off that fifth bench spot. Then moving over to the rotation, I think it's going to be Wheeler, Nola, Gibson, Suarez, Cueto. I think we do grab Johnny Cueto to hold up that 5 spot until Eflin returns. Then Bailey Falter will probably get a spot taken in the bullpen by Johnny Cueto when Eflin returns. And then we have Jake Diekman, Connor Brogdon, Sam Coonrod, Jose Alvarado, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and Corey Knebel holding off that closer spot. Overall, I think this team will be able to win at least 85 games.
At least.
At least.
85 games. I mean, it sounds pretty good, Mitchell. But how do you expect to sign all these guys without actually going over the?
So the thing is, Didi Gregorius is supposedly owed, I believe it's around $16 million this year. We will be not paying him that. We will attach a prospect with him and send him to a unknown position in the MLB universe just to get rid of $16 million. Therefore, that would bring our available spending money to $56 million, even though it would be something around prior to arbitration. If we do get rid of it, it'll be about $68 million. However, with arbitration, you estimate about $12 million will go to arbitration eligible players. So you say you have about $56 million to spend. Then you give Kyle Schwarber a 4-year, $65 million contract. He takes the lesser AAV and then a $360 contract because he's getting an extra year of pay. Then for Kyle Schwarber, he's expected to get around 6-year, $160 million. You give him an extra year, cut that AAV down a little bit, so you're giving him 7 over 170. I mean 170 over 7. Then you sign Jake Diekman for a 1-year, $5 million contract. Very respectable in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then also, I would like to make a change to mine. I believe that we also re-signed Archie Bradley to a $3 million contract.
Ugh.
So if I
Forgot about that guy.
Yeah,
I forgot about him, but
he was brutal.
I thought he did pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was mad, but he was at least a good
He was
man.
either he was really, really good or he sucked.
Yes.
Most of the time, he sucked.
Yeah, there was like 2 or 3 months where he was decent, but other than that, yeah, like Ben, like you said, yeah, he stunk. Yeah, and
then for who's the other player? Oh yes, Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto, he's a pitcher and a very, very little. To be honest, Anibal Sanchez is up there, but I think Johnny Cueto would work out better because he pitches really well. Then his arm gives out. And around the time his arm usually gives out, that should be around the time where Eflin returns. So it kind of actually works out in the end. I think he gets about $7 million. I know it's a lot, but however, with the current trade environment, he's probably going to be granted that big contract. And in total, that would bring us up to about $56 million, which is you're going right up against it. You'd have to probably nick a little bit of arbitration, try to go on the low side and see if people will take a nice little pay cut. But other than that, you're going to be right up against the luxury tax or going over it by like a $500,000. And if Middleton's not fine with giving up $500,000 to make his team the best it can be, that's sad. Then again, you can just not sign Archie Bradley. You don't have to worry about it. But then again, Archie Bradley or Bailey Falter, I think I would go Archie Bradley in that situation. But that is my offseason for the Phillies, and hopefully they do something because this is the day before mandatory reporting for players is due to happen, which is tomorrow. The Phillies are all present other than Ranger Suarez due to visa problems. He should be ready by the early in the season, probably by his first start. However, they really need to speed up the process. But so far, I really think the Phillies just need to get out of it. However, they are all the free agents. Because the thing is with the Phillies, all the free agents that they are in on haven't signed anywhere yet, or there hasn't been any buzz about them yet. So that means that it's a heavily polluted market with a lot of interest, and obviously it's going to take a while to sift through the suitors and find the right deal for your client, especially since Chris Bryant, I believe, is a Boris client. So obviously that Boris tries to get the most out of a player. But then again, there's only been one Heyman tweet about Bryant in the past 2 days, which is unusual for a Boris client because usually you get once a day or multiple a day. And you just haven't seen any of that. And right now, the highest there's been a trade. Mitch Garver went to the Rangers, and Clayton Kershaw went back to the Dodgers, and then Yusei Kikuchi signed with the Blue Jays. And so far, that's been the highlight of this free agent frenzy, and it's not living up to what it's supposed to be. So hopefully soon it turns into this frenzy that we all think it should be.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting much yet. This is day 4. We're just getting into spring training. I don't think anything huge happens for another week or so. If the Phillies want to sign this one dude, which I would like to talk about if we ever get to it, if they sign this one dude, they're gonna have to do it quick because I feel he is the number 1 target this offseason. And yeah.
Yeah, of course, all fair. And then Mitchell, I'd like to go back to the point where you said about the international draft.
Also, another Freddie Freeman update. Yankees are still in on Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
I'm still in on Freddie Freeman.
I mean, yeah, so
Aren't we all? Masons, the Pirates are in on Freddie Freeman.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they're making deals. You already know.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean the international draft. I meant the visa issue because the lockout ended so suddenly, and that players are reporting now suddenly too. The international players with visas are having trouble with them getting approved in time to report because the teams and those guys never had any communication during the lockout. So this will so a lot of their returns will probably be delayed, and therefore they'll probably have to start off. They probably will not be ready for the start of the season, like Ranger Suarez, who this year is probably their number 2 starter, and you've already got Eflin now with the knee surgery too, so you're gonna have to maneuver around that. So Phillies may be starting off the year without 2 of their starters. So like you said, Mitch, I like Cueto. I think that's a good sign for them, and I think they may get like a Hans Kraus or somebody like that to fill in the number 5 spot.
The thing is, like with Hans, they signed recently, and if you tuned into Alex Carr's stream the other day, they had a couple waiver claims for a couple fringe starting pitchers, such as I think his name is like Nelson from the Yankees. I think that's one of them. I really do think if that does happen to be the case, they'll probably call somebody up for a week or two just to handle that 5th spot or that 4th spot. Because I really think they're going to sign a starting pitcher or at the very least trade for one. I it's just because of the situation. I think Hans Kraus needs more time, especially since he's just coming back, and since he was called up last year. I think he couldn't be in minor league camp. I'm not 100% sure on that because he was part of the 40-man run. No, well, I guess that isn't true because Bryson Stott's in camp. But either way, I think it's going to be one of these pitchers who have pitched last year. And I think it's going to be the former Yankees guy because the Yankees guy did pitch up in the big leagues last year. So I think it'll be him.
Okay, that's Nelson then in that case.
I think it's Nick Nelson or something like that.
Gotcha. And then, and then Nelson.
I would like to say who my must sign is for the Phillies this year.
Who is your must sign?
All right. So obviously we need a starting left fielder. We need someone that can lead off, and we need someone that can hit home runs. I think you know where we're going with this. Kyle Schwarber is the most perfect fit for the Phillies right now. As I said, we need that left fielder. We need that home run hitter. We need that lefty. Kyle Schwarber's perfect. What are you laughing at, Mitch?
It's just a tweet explaining the Phil's retweeted. It's some guy saying today's the day. Today's the day. And it's just somebody photoshopped Dave Dombrowski on a tweet saying today's the day that we make lots of deals.
I'll have to save that. I mean, he's probably the most perfect pick you can get. We were close. We were reportedly close to getting him earlier before the lockout. I don't think the Phillies end those talking with Schwarber. I think they've, if not already, they've set it back up. But they need to get him as quick as possible. They can't delay this anymore as they already have with the Schwarber.
Yeah, I mean, with how you said it was reportedly close that Schwarber was close to becoming a Philly. I'm surprised that within the 48 hours of the lockout being concluded, that the Phillies have not been able to finish this deal. And also, I know Boris, which is Bryant's agent, I know literally Bryce Harper has been reportedly talking to Dave Dombrowski, Bryant, and Boris saying, I would like Bryant to come here and play with me and Bryson Stott, who are all from Las Vegas.
I would like Chris Bryant to come here too.
And you would think in the end, if Bryant had the opportunity to go to the Mets or the Phillies, and there was a difference of say $20 million, he wouldn't be that dumb to go to here for $20 million less. But say it's in the matter of fact of a couple $1 million. He had the choice to go to the Mets, or he had the choice to go here. And to be honest, I do think he would choose here because Boris already has Bryce Harper locked up in here, Philly. He already has 2 other clients here in Philly. He's friends with Harper. He's friends with his son. Bryson Stott is friends with both of them. So I just don't see the reason as to why the Phillies haven't done this deal already. But then again, I understand why Boris is known for drawing out deals because he wants the most money for his clients. And apparently Boris wanted to raise the luxury tax higher so his clients could get more money. So it's going to be interesting to see. However, I do think by tomorrow afternoon, the Phillies will have made 2 moves. I'm not saying who, but I think this will be 2 moves. Then again, it could be like we signed Heath Hembry and Jonathan Papelbon or somebody. I don't know, but
don't bring up that name ever again. I don't see Chris Bryant coming here. I feel like he's going to be too pricey, and there's bigger needs than a third baseman. I hate to say it, but I think Alec Boehm will be our starting third baseman this year. If we move Didi over there and put a Bryson Stott.
If Didi is on this team to begin,
I don't want Didi Gregorius on the team. I want him out.
Then again,
not be here.
Alec Boehm, because remember, Rhys Hoskins is coming off abdominal surgery from fielding the baseball. I do believe in all facts he will start as the DH this year. We will have a different starting third baseman coming into this year. I do believe that to be a fact. Bryson Stott will be our shortstop, And then again, if you have Chris Bryant and Kyle Schwarber, Alec Boehm, and Hoskins, you can rotate that group around. Hoskins obviously will only float between first base and DH, but then again, Kyle Schwarber could go from left field to DH to first base, and Chris Bryant could go to left field, center field even, DH, and first base if needed. So I do believe that in all seriousness, that Chris Bryant will be the better move for the Phillies due to his utility aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't see it happening. I feel like the Giants are going to give Chris Bryant so much money to stay in San Francisco, but we'll see what happens. I'll obviously accept Chris Bryant with open arms. I'd rather get Kyle Schwarber, but because we need a left fielder.
But I just hate the fact
We
that
also
not
need
even,
we also need a center fielder, and I think we could possibly get Kevin Kiermaier for a good little cheap deal.
right, can there be like literally any fake accounts tweeting anything? Even the fake accounts aren't even tweeting anything. This is just sad. I want to get like my hype up for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Mitchell. This is going to be. I think this is definitely going to be drawn out a bit.
They can't draw it out for much longer because by the time they are up to speed, that everything will just be done.
By Friday, I think you will see about a bunch of like Phillies.
The thing is, if this draws out to next week, I think the players will want to be on a team because, granted, this spring training is only a month long, and then you're immediately going and playing baseball at the end of spring training. You have 2 days off, and then you're straight into the season. And I think players, especially these players who are not going back to their original teams of last year, I don't think Chris Bryant goes back to the Giants. He's definitely not going back to the Cubs. They will have to get used to their new team. And I think for Chris Bryant, if he does go to the Phillies, he will have less work to do because obviously he's friends with Bryce Harper. He knows him. It's going to be easier to get in feel with the Phillies than say he would do with the Mets. And besides, the Mets are not going to be doing anything until they trade away some of their players, as it's been reported today. So you got to be thinking around that one more domino needs to fall. And I don't think that's Freddie Freeman. The Freddie Freeman deal is not going to do anything for the market because the two teams in on him are teams that are not in competition with the Phillies for some of these players. Chris Bryant, it's got to be one of the teams that you know is in for a player like of Chris Bryant to do something. If, say, the Mets trade away somebody, you know they're going to make a move. However, until that happens, you can't really do anything. So I think this market is waiting for the Mets to do something, but until that point, we just gotta sit and wait.
Yeah.
Welcome to free agency, where we sit and wait. Put that on a T-shirt.
That is the usual MLB free agency. Although before the lockout, though, it seemed like the market was moving pretty quickly. I mean, a lot of people right up until the lockout were signing with teams, and that is including our own Corey Knebel.
There hasn't been a new Chris Bryant tweet from a verified source since yesterday.
Oh God.
That was from Heyman. That was from Heyman, correct?
Yes, the Twins are one team that are in on for Johnny Cueto.
That makes sense. I mean, cheap starter for them. I mean, for a small market team, I could definitely see them doing that.
Oh, did you hear about the Jorge Soler thing? Like,
yeah, if he does come here, I don't think he will. But if anything, he's here for a permanent DH spot. He can't play defense in the outfield, and I don't see the Phillies doing it. Especially, I don't think he's going to get overpaid, especially for 3 to 5 years. I'm not doing that deal.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. It's free agency period. It's been slow, but I think that
apparently some knockoff. Here's a new knockoff MLB insider named Ryan Rose. Has a solid 90 followers on Twitter. Says here, surprising mystery team has entered the Freddie Freeman market. Philadelphia Phillies see Freddie Freeman as a potential fit and could move Hoskins to permanent DH spot, per source inside Philadelphia Phillies organization. That would be the ultimate thing, especially for somebody that we know. That would be the worst thing possible for this one person, just to see this happen. But
let's see what Vin Fosh has to say.
yes, and
Finn Fosh. Oh my god.
oh, I mean, you mean Michael Hawk, that guy?
Mike Hawk.
But apparently, this guy
story.
also said that Braves have intensified trade talks with Matt Olson, so that's interesting.
Mike
Oh
Hawk.
my God.
What a guy.
Let's see. Apparently, he said one day ago. He said, or I think yesterday he said the sides are very close. Deal could be announced in the next 24 hours. On that, the Phillies are going to sign Chris Bryant in the next 24 hours. That was yesterday.
Who did?
At one point, I think I actually blocked him.
Yes. I'm trying to find the original account. I don't think he's posted anything, or he just deleted everything from his account. Oh, what was that one guy's name? Top Shelf Picks. That's what his name was. Remember that guy?
Oh my God! Oh yeah. Last year, yeah, he was on it last year.
I need to find this guy. Top Shelf.
Yeah, we didn't even really sign him on that big last year.
There
though.
he is. There is this guy. Yes. All right. Let's see if he tweeted anything recently. He hasn't tweeted anything since February. So, haha. All right. I need to find this guy.
I think I blocked him too at one point. I think as well because I was getting so mad.
Is this guy not?
Can we quickly talk about?
Oh, I found him. There he is.
Can we quickly talk about the bullpen situation?
Yes.
What do you guys say?
I have absolutely no clue who to get for. Okay, did not want to do that. Alex Carr put out an interesting, good tweet for some affordable candidates that Phillies could possibly pursue for the bullpen. Joe Kelly, Trevor Rosenthal, Ryan Tepera, Brad Boxberger, Adam Ottavino, Julius Familia, Sergio Romo, and Michael Givens. I mean, he said we have half of a bullpen right now, literally.
Yeah.
Of professional baseball players, we have half of a bullpen right now. So obviously, things need to happen. And I think some of these guys I just said could be a very high possibility.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. Like, I mean, you are correct. The Phillies need a lot. The Phillies have a lot of options, but they have to like make moves. And I think some of those moves you mentioned would be or would significantly help them. I think could push them to being a potential contender. Maybe it's going a little too far, but it gets them closer. Well, I'll say that.
Yes.
Mitch, thanks for liking my tweet.
You're welcome. It says here, Phillies, Twins, Brewers joined the teams interested in Jorge Soler. Now there are 8 teams
Jorge
interested in
Soler.
World Series MVP: Rangers, Red Sox, Astros, Marlins, Dodgers, Phillies, Twins, and Brewers. I still don't want him unless it's a very cheap, like $5 million for like 3 years, like a 3-year, $20 million contract. I'm not doing it. Like, granted, yes, he gives you power. We have a short porch. I understand that. It's his defense is not going to be suitable, especially if you have one to be rotating people around a DH. And if you sign him, you're most likely not signing Chris Bryant or Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. And those are the Phillies' 2 main targets, at least for right now. It seems like. And I didn't realize. I mean, if Bryce Harper wants Bryant to sign here that badly, then I think that then I bet John Middleton will at least be willing to do at least a little bit more to come and get him for his number 1 baseball player on the team. So,
Mitch, did you see how small the NYCFC's post banner is for the championship?
Yes, I did.
It looks like a little note card. It's hilarious.
So I think that'll do it for today's podcast. We're really glad to have all you back. We're really glad to be podcasting once again for baseball. Baseball is back, and it'll be back for at least the next 5 years.
Yes.
Let's go.
So we get to watch
Baseball for 5 years.
Phillies.
Baseball for 5 years. and
We
then
will
we'll probably-
definitely be in the spot in 5 years. So
Yeah.
I'll be 14. I'll be 17 years old. I'll be running Liberty Sports Network at that point. Me and Mason will be the owners. We'll buy it from Mitch, and we're gonna be in the same spot in our same rooms talking about baseball.
Yes. Well, hopefully by the time you're watching this, the Phillies did something, but probably most likely they have
You
not.
think by the time we're 17, the Phillies will make a move?
No. No, Philadelphia. Absolutely not.
Well, then again, this has been episode 3 of the Stealing First podcast. Any shares or retweets or any likes and comments on this episode are greatly appreciated. And yes, baseball is back, and hopefully it will be like this for 5 years. This has been episode 3. See you guys next time.